Jon Stewart, 61, immediately left The Daily Show after this, and the real story behind his decision is far more heartbreaking and complex than most fans ever realized. A tale not only of exhaustion and sacrifice, but also of the heavy emotional toll that came with being the voice of reason in a world that often felt unreasonable. For 16 years, Stewart guided viewers through some of the most turbulent times in modern history, blending comedy and sharp political insight in a way that made him not just a late-night host but a cultural force. A truth-teller who made millions laugh while quietly carrying the weight of national heartbreak on his shoulders. Night after night he dissected corruption, hypocrisy, and tragedy, using satire to shine a light on injustice. But behind the laughs was a man who admitted he was growing weary, burned out by the endless cycle of anger and frustration. By the time Stewart left in 2015, he confessed that the show had taken too much out of him, that waking up every day to immerse himself in politics, scandals, and pain had left him drained and disconnected from the life he wanted to live beyond the studio walls. But what most fans don't know is that his decision was deeply personal as well. Stewart had long struggled with guilt over the time he missed with his wife and children, realizing that the very career that had given him purpose had also stolen precious years from the people he loved most. Friends and colleagues revealed that Stewart often wrestled privately with depression and a sense of futility, feeling that no matter how sharp his jokes or how loud his voice, the world continued to spiral, leaving him questioning whether he had truly made a difference. His departure was not a retreat from fame, but a necessary step to save his own peace of mind, to reclaim his family, and to step out of the endless storm that had defined his professional life. Even after leaving, the scars of those years were visible. Stewart admitted that the constant exposure to cruelty, politics, and division had changed him forever, making him more cynical and sometimes more broken than he wanted to be. He poured his energy into activism, fighting for 9/11 first responders, supporting veterans, and speaking out on issues close to his heart, but even then, the fire often came at the cost of his own emotional health. At 61, Stewart's story is not just one of success, but of sacrifice, of a man who gave everything he had to make others laugh, think, and question, only to find that the price of being a cultural voice was sometimes too heavy to bear. His sudden exit from The Daily Show was not about fading relevance or lack of passion. It was about survival, about stepping back before he lost himself completely in the chaos he had spent years trying to unravel for the world. The tragedy of Jon Stewart is not in his departure, but in the haunting reality that even those who make us laugh the hardest often carry the deepest exhaustion, and that sometimes the bravest act is knowing when to walk away.